Imagine this. You're an ancient human, tens of thousands of years ago. The sun has been down for hours. The world is just a dim glow of a campfire and the deep blackness beyond it. You're drifting towards sleep. Then you hear it. A crack. A rustle. Something moving just outside the circle of light. Your heart slams against your ribs. Every muscle tenses. What do you do next? Your first instinct is probably the answer. Run, hide, fight. But the real story of what happened in that moment is far more profound. It's the story of a survival toolkit, a combination of biology, instinct, and social strategy that was so effective, it's still wired into your brain today. This is what ancient humans did when they heard something at night. First, you have to understand what they were listening for. For early humans, the darkness belonged to some of history's most efficient predators. Massive big cats, cave bears, giant hyenas, and wolves. And sometimes in places, rival human groups could also be a threat. The night was not just dark, it was an active, dangerous space. So, when a sound broke the darkness, it wasn't just a noise. It was a potential death sentence. And the body reacted instantly. Automatically, a biological alarm system will still possess would trigger. It starts deep in the brain, flooding your system with adrenaline. Your heart rate spikes, pumping blood to your muscles. Your hearing becomes laser focused. This is the famous fight or flight response with a crucial third option, freeze. This entire cascade was honed in ancient nights. But what were they thinking? In that frozen, hyper-alert state, the mind was racing through a rapid assessment. Was that a familiar sound? The wind in the grass? A small rodent? Or was it the low, heavy footfall of something large? The brain was a pattern recognition machine, comparing the sound against a library of memories, asking one question: friend, foot, or foe? Now, action. The first and most common move was often to do nothing, to stay perfectly, utterly still. Movement creates noise and reveals your position. Freezing lets you listen for more clues and prevent you from triggering a predator's chase instinct. It was a strategic pause. If you were alone, this moment of assessment was everything. You were deciding whether to slowly back away, prepare to climb, or grip your weapon tighter. But ancient humans were rarely alone, and this is where their real advantage kicked in. Group living was their primary survival strategy. So if you heard a threat, your next move was communication, but not a shout, a subtle, silent signal, a touch on the arm of the person next to you, a low, specific sound. The goal was to alert your group without alerting the thing in the dark. Suddenly, it wasn't just your ears listening, it was 10 pairs. Vigilance was shared. Defense could be coordinated. You might all slowly gather closer to the most important technology you had: fire. The control of fire was a revolution in nighttime security. It was a portable sun. It pushed back the darkness, allowing you to see. Its light and unpredictable crackle deterred almost all animals, and it created a clear, defensible hub for the group. A fire changed the equation from pure terror to managed risk. So the protocol, when you piece it together, was likely this: freeze, assess, silently alert the group. Use your collective senses and your technology to identify the threat. And then, as a unit, decide. Do we stand our ground, or do we retreat to a safer place? This wasn't a life of constant terror. They were adapted to their world. Familiar sounds near the secure camp with a fire might barely register. But when the unknown crackled in the dark, this integrated system, biological alarm, cognitive triage, and social coordination snapped into place. It had to work. And because it worked so well for so long, it left a permanent mark on us. You can hear its echo today. That irrational jump, scare feeling when a floorboard creaks in the dark house. The specific spatial fear a child has of something under the bed or the closet. These modern anxieties are likely evolutionary leftovers, remnants of a time when pinpointing where a sound came from was a critical skill. The next time you're startled by a noise at night, remember, you're not just being jumpy. You're experiencing the legacy of a supreme, effective survival machine. You're hearing the world for a split second, as your ancestors did, with a body ready for action, a mind scanning for patterns, and a deep, ingrained expectation that you are not alone in the dark. The silence was never empty, and we learned to listen.